Hey there, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso, and I got a question today that I get kind of often, and so I wanted to go ahead and take the time to address it today. So the question that I often get is, how much should I feed my puppy? And how do I know if my puppy has had enough to eat? And so the question for that is going to be based on that individual dog. You can always follow the recommended dosage on the bag initially, and then if you start to see that your puppy is really thin, even though he's eating all this food, and by thin, what I mean is that you can see the hip bones and you can see the backbone, preferably more the backbone than even the hips, because sometimes some dogs are built to where you can really see their hip and their hips, and they're totally good as far as their size. So the other thing you want to look for, and I don't know if you can see it here, but do you see these ribs on Blondie here? You can see the indent of her ribs right there. It's harder to see on this dog here because of the brindling. But if you look from the top, let me see. Yeah, here you can see here. She has a definite waist where it gets skinny there. And then if you look from the bottom, you'll see that it tucks up. It's called the tuck up. And so you'll see, I know Kashmir, you'll see where it's not flat across the bottom. They actually have a waist that comes up like that. And so those are the things that you want to see. Now right after the puppy's done eating, that waist will go away, but on average you want to be able to see it. And let me show you on Midnight. Come here, Midnight. Come here. Psst, come here. Good girl. Yes, come here. Good girl, yes. So you can see here, even though she's a really thick girl, you see her hip bones here. You can see her structure there, right? So, and then, let's see here. Good girl. Yeah, it's a good girl. And so, I don't know if you can kind of see her ribs. It's better, it's easier on the black dogs because they're so shiny. But it's important. You know, a lot of people think that if you feed your dog a lot, that your dog is going to be really big. That's not true. Your dog is going to be as big as his genetics say he's going to be. The only thing that is going to alter that is if your dog has had some type of parasite or disease that would have stunted their growth. There are some parasites that do that, some worms and such that will stunt growth. So you want to make sure that your puppy is wormed. But other than that, you just want to feed them for the size that they are. You see her waist right there. You don't want to overfeed your dog. I know, Kashmir, yes, you're a good girl. And the reason for that is because if you overfeed your dog, the puppies have a lot of space between their joints. Their growth rates are very prolonged. And so for a big dog, Kashmir, don't. She's going to try to mount him. For a big dog like this, those growth plates don't usually close until, oh gosh, about a year old, sometimes older. So there's a lot of space between the joints, and the space leaves room for injury. So you just really want to be careful with them. You don't want to put too much weight on those developing joints because the odds are you're going to overload the joint and you're going to cause permanent damage to either the growth plate or you're going to cause looseness to the joints, which is a form of environmental hip dysplasia. Kashmir, shh, Kashmir, what did I say? Be quiet. You're being loud and it's nighttime. Shh. And so, anyway, so that's what we call environmental hip dysplasia. It's non-genetic. And it's just like, how people can be really overweight and they can overload their joints and they can cause problems. And people get away with it a lot better because we stand up on two legs. We walk on two legs. So our legs are really designed to handle a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. But a dog is not. A dog works on four legs. They're not designed to be able to handle that. So on top of that, they're not lazy. They're really, really energetic, and they're going to hurt themselves. So this is Kashmir. She's actually fixing to go into heat. So she's you know, that's one of the behaviors you start to see out of the females. You will see that, I mean, in general, sometimes, like, females will it's just a form of dominance. It's not always sexual, but in her particular case, she's just getting frisky. She's been doing it a lot lately. And if she wasn't in heat, then I wouldn't let her do that. I'll just be clear. Because Preacher wouldn't tolerate it. Hey, shh, what'd I say about being quiet? It's nighttime. Shh, no. There's people out there walking. Don't, shh. See, my neighbor's out there watering the lawn. Shh. No, get over here. Now, bring it in. Bring it in. Preacher, heel up. You're a good boy. That's a good boy. So they can't bark at things that don't need to be barked at. Those are the rules. Shh. What did I say? Shh. Cashmere, get your butt over here now. Shh. What did I say? Midnight, that better not be you, girl. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Do you see? Velocity? No. Shh. Midnight? Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Shh. Girl, I got my eye on you, Velocity. Don't you try it. Don't you try it. Now, I could take them in, but I'm not going to because this is a training moment. Shh. No. Cashmere, get your butt back up there now. Shh. No. Back over here. Now, let's go. Move it up. Good girl. You sit down. Shh. Stay. Shh. Don't try. Shh. Midnight. No. Shh. Blondie. Oh, Midnight. You better turn it around, girl. Everybody's being good. Good girl, Velocity. You stay. All right. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Good dogs. Now we can go inside. Alrighty then. So, like I said, keep your dogs in shape. Don't overload them with weight, which is only going to overload their joints. Who cares what people think? If they think you got a bigger dog, it doesn't matter. Let them believe that. That's not what counts, okay? What counts is how long your dog is going to live, and what kind of life they're going to be able to live because of the kind of stress on their joints, and how long they'll be able to live. Come on now. Bring it in. So anyway, alrighty then. We all have a good night. We're going to go in and... Oh, God, Cashmere. There you go. Yep. See? Yeah, we're going to get her inside. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.